Welcome one, welcome all to my new house. Today we are going to attempt to sound like Modest Mouse. They are a band that I'm not super obsessed with, but I do respect them for all the things that they bring to the table, which I often feel like I lack. So maybe by doing this, I can add some of the things they have to some of the things that I have. And then I am all the richer for it. My main inspiration this time will be their song Interstate 8. It is one of the songs that I feel most familiar with, so I decided to go for that. And a note before we start, I think a lot of what Modest Mouse is about is not what chords you play or whether you're playing a riff or whether you're playing a chord progression. It's all about the attitude. It's all about how you play it. I tried to keep this mix pretty sparse. Tried not to do too many takes. I wanted to sound sort of rough around the edges a little bit. Yeah. Let's go. First is guitar. So for the chord progression, I went with Float On's chord progression, and I cut out the last chord and made the third chord go twice as long. It's not, of course, it's not the exact chords, but the same root notes. That's what it ended up being anyway. And I got the main chord progression out of that, which sounds like this. And for the verse, I stripped it down even more. I made it just the first chord of the main chord progression and the third one, and I arpeggiated it, which is what Interstate 8 does, and that sounds like this. And at the end, I made the whole song sort of crescendo and really rock out, so I just turned on the drive on that part. The amp I used in there was just sort of a simulator of a Fender Tweed amp. Any of those will do. It's any amp that looks yellow with a brown speaker square. Yeah, any of those will do. So that's the rhythm part. There's not so much a lead part. It's sort of just a little flavor that I sprinkle over everything, or during the choruses at least. And it's a backwards guitar, just doing little fiddly bits, because that's what happens in Interstate 8, and I thought it sounded cool, so I decided to just do that as well. Guitars are sounding good. Let's move on to the drums. The drums keep us trucking along, as they always do. I went pretty simple while also trying to make it feel dismal in a way. That's what the whole song is going for. Depression and dismality. I might have just invented a word. Someone tell me if I did. I'm not going to look it up. Anyway, yeah. Drum beats aren't too complicated, I think. Just do a simple one. It works. Here's what it sounds like. The bass is next. I played this thing, my ukulele bass, because I thought it would be fun. And it was. It sure was. I just thought, what would Paul McCartney do? Because there are backwards guitars playing in this song, which makes me think of Tomorrow Never Knows, which is a Beatles song. So, I didn't feel like it was too far out of left field. And so I basically just played kind of high on the neck around here. In Interstate 8, the bassist plays pretty high from what I hear, so that's what I did. Here's a demonstration. far as vocals go, I kind of just moan out. I croon the words out, as it were, during the verse, and during the chorus, I shout like there's no tomorrow, because that's what the singer of Modest Mouse seems to do. He doesn't seem to be too concerned with perfect tonality, so I did not either. I tried to do most of my takes in like 1 or 2 takes anyway, so, or as few takes as I could do, because I didn't want it to sound too perfect. Yeah, that's sort of what the whole song's deal is, you know. I want it to sound pretty raw. That's why I put, instead of spring reverb on like the guitars and stuff, I put room reverb, because it sounds more raw. The spring reverb is the reverb you hear on pretty much everything nowadays, I feel like. Everything that's indie or alternative with a clean guitar on it, spring reverb. But a room reverb will just sound like you're listening. It's like you're recording the speaker playing the guitar track or whatever, and then you're listening to that recording of that speaker, and you hear the reverberation in the room, which is really cool sound. I especially like it on drums, and it is on the drums in this as well. It really gives that garage rock amateur sound, which I think is pretty sick. Lyrics, I tried to be poetic as I can be, because that's what I felt like Modest Mouse does. Yeah. That is pretty much it. I'm just going to give you a look at my studio here. Pretty simple, huh? Funny. This just proves that you don't need a whole bunch of stuff to do what I'm doing. I'm able to record as many songs as I want pretty efficiently, just with a little audio interface, a ukulele bass, and 1 guitar, and a not super powerful laptop. I have spent a lot of money on music stuff, but you don't need to go completely overboard, especially if it's just a hobby. Of course, if it is your passion, then you have my permission to go crazy, like I have done and intend to do more. Sorry it's been so long since I did one of these videos. I may try to do more, hopefully. So, hope you guys enjoy the song. Let me know what you think. Tell me if it sounds enough like Modest Mouse for me to have spent time doing this. Yeah, anyway. Safe travels. People can be nice from time to time, an invite would be nice. This amber tower was a huge mistake. I can't see the friends I make. Should I start to count the days I've had to buy? The visitor would be nice. I'll point words to glass, the one that's greener as dimensions pass. Come say goodbye for takes a